What if our moon turned out to be hollow? Could we sneak in and stay safe if something awful wiped out our planet? Some folks who love the hollow moon idea say yes, it might just work. They think the moon could be a big hollow shell or have tons of room hidden deep down. The clue is that it feels lighter than Earth, which gets their minds spinning about what's going on inside. Scientists, though, say it's just because Earth's outer layers aren't as heavy as its iron heart. And here's a strange twist. People say the moon hums like a giant bell. Back in 1969 to 1977, Apollo gear picked up little shakes. And when Apollo 12 smashed a piece into it on November 20, 1969, NASA noted the hum lasted nearly an hour. That made some wonder if it's hollow after all. Is this our backup plan? Let's dig into it together. So what's got everyone so excited about the moon being hollow? It all starts with a simple feeling. The moon doesn't weigh as much as you'd expect for a big rock like that. Some folks think that means it's got empty spaces inside, maybe even huge caves or rooms we can't see from down here. This idea isn't new. People have been talking about it for years, dreaming up what might be hiding under all that dusty gray surface. Could it be a secret world waiting for us if Earth goes kaput? That thought alone is enough to get your mind racing. Let's go back to those Apollo days. Between 1969 and 1977, the astronauts left behind some clever machines to listen to the moon. These gadgets picked up little shakes, moonquakes they called them. Then came the big moment on November 20, 1969, when Apollo 12 decided to crash a part of their ship right into the moon's surface. Boom! NASA folks back on Earth heard something wild. The moon didn't just shake, it hummed like a giant bell for almost an hour. That sound spread fast, and people started whispering, "Hey, maybe it's hollow." Imagine the buzz, newspapers buzzing, radios chattering, and folks at home wondering if we'd stumbled onto something huge. Back then, the Apollo team didn't expect this. The astronauts who set up those listening machines were just trying to learn about the moon's insides, not start a mystery. But when that hum came through, it caught everyone off guard. Some said it sounded spooky, like the moon was alive or hiding something. Others thought it was just rocks moving funny. Either way, the idea stuck. People began picturing big empty spaces down there, maybe even tunnels or chambers. It wasn't long before the hollow moon talk took off, with folks imagining all sorts of things: alien bases, lost cities, you name it. Of course, not everyone bought into it. Scientists stepped in and said, "Hold on, it's not that simple." They figured the moon feels lighter because its outer layers aren't as packed as Earth's deep iron core. But that didn't stop the dreamers. They kept pointing to that hum, saying it proved something was off. In coffee shops and schoolyards, people debated. Some swore the moon was a giant shell, others laughed it off. The Apollo 12 crash became the talk of the town, with grainy TV clips showing the moment it hit, followed by that strange echo. Let's paint a picture of what folks imagined. Some thought the moon might have massive caves stretching miles underground, lit by a faint glow from who knows where. Others pictured it like a honeycomb, with rooms connected by twisty paths. They even wondered if those spaces could hold air or water. Crazy ideas, sure, but exciting. The hum was like a clue in a treasure hunt, and people couldn't stop guessing. Books started popping up, with titles like Secrets of the Moon, and radio shows had guests debating late into the night. Back in the 70s, this idea grew legs. People wrote letters to NASA asking if they'd check it out. Kids drew pictures of hollow moons with doors and windows, while grown-ups wondered if it could save us one day. The Apollo data kept coming, but that hum stayed the biggest puzzle. Some said it was the moon's way of talking, a signal we hadn't cracked yet. Others joked it was laughing at us for not figuring it out sooner. Science tried to calm things down, saying the hum was just how the moon's rocks vibrated, different from Earth because of its dry, cracked surface. But the hollow moon fans weren't convinced. They kept digging into old stories, finding hints in ancient myths about the moon being special. Maybe those old tales weren't so crazy after all? The buzz grew louder, with people imagining a day when we'd need those hidden spaces to survive. Fast forward a bit, and the idea still lingers. Movies and TV shows picked it up, showing hollow moons with secret bases or lost civilizations. It's not just a science thing anymore. It's a story that grabs you. Think about it. A place right above us holding a secret that could change everything. Could those caves be real? Could they be our ticket out if Earth turns bad? The hum from 1969 keeps echoing, and it's got us all wondering what's next. All right, let's take a step back and see what the smart folks have figured out about the moon. All this talk about it being hollow is fun, but science has its own story to tell. For years, people have wondered how the moon even showed up in our sky. One old idea came from a guy named George Darwin way back in 1879. He thought Earth was spinning so fast that it spit out a chunk, and that chunk turned into the moon. Pretty cool picture, right? That idea stuck around for a while until we got more clues. Then came another guess. Some said the moon was just floating around space, minding its own business, until Earth's gravity snatched it up like a big hug. Another theory popped up that it might have been a wandering rock that got caught. These ideas were wild, but they made people think about how the moon fits into our world. Fast forward to today, and the big crash idea is the one most folks agree on. Picture this, a huge rock, maybe as big as Mars, slammed into Earth a long time ago. The mess it made floated around and slowly stuck together to become our moon. That's the story science likes best right now. But what about that hollow part? The Apollo missions gave us a closer look. Those astronauts left behind machines to listen to the moon's shakes, and what they found was a surprise. The moon isn't just one big empty space. It has layers, a thin outside shell, a thick middle part, and a solid center. That's not what you'd expect from a hollow ball. The hum we heard? Scientists say it's just the moon's rocks moving in a different way because they're dry and cracked, not like Earth's wet, soft ground. So the hollow dream takes a hit here. Let's dig into those layers a bit more. The thin shell on top is like a crispy crust, maybe 20-30 miles thick. Under that, there's a big middle layer that goes deep, and at the bottom, a solid core that's not as huge as Earth's, but still pretty heavy. When those Apollo tools picked up shakes, they showed how sound waves bounced around, proving there's no giant empty spot. It's more like a layered cake than a blown-up balloon. That hum from the Apollo 12 crash? Just the cake layers vibrating in their own funny way. Still, the old ideas don't die easy. Some folks still cling to the spin-off theory, imagining Earth twirling like a top and tossing out the moon. Others like the capture story, picturing the moon as a traveler that got stuck with us. The crash idea, though, has the most proof. Scientists say the moon's rocks look a lot like Earth's, which fits with that big smash-up tail. But every time they find something new, like water or weird shakes, the hollow fans jump back in saying, "See, maybe it's not all solid." Now let's crank up the excitement. What if the moon isn't just a natural rock, but a spaceship built by someone out there in space? This wild idea came from two guys, Vassin and Sherbakov, back in 1970. They looked at how the moon hums and feels light and said, "Hey, this looks like something made on purpose." They thought maybe aliens parked it here, and that hum we heard could be a sign of their work. It's a big jump, but it sure grabs your attention. The story gets even cooler with those perfect eclipses. You know how the moon slides right in front of the sun and blocks it just right? A writer named Asimov once said it's almost too perfect, like someone planned it. That got people thinking, maybe the moon was put here to line up like that. Some folks imagine aliens setting it up so we'd notice, like a hello from the stars. They picture huge machines building it, piece by piece, millions of years ago. Wild, huh? But not everyone's on board. Scientists say it's just a lucky break. The moon and sun look the same size from here because of how far apart they are, and that changes a little over time. They argue it's not proof of alien hands, more like a cool trick of nature. Still, the spaceship idea won't quit. People love the thought of the moon being a hidden base, with doors we haven't found yet. Maybe it's watching us, or maybe it's waiting for something big. Let's imagine it for a second. Picture aliens with shiny tools carving out the moon, making it hollow to float around Earth. Some say they might have used it as a lookout post, keeping an eye on our planet. Others think it could be a rescue ship, ready to save someone or something. The hum from Apollo 12? Maybe it's the engines waking up, or just the walls echoing. It's a fun story, and it's got people dreaming up all kinds of things. Back in the 70s, this idea took off like wildfire. Folks started writing books and making radio shows about it. They'd talk about how the moon always shows the same face to us, like it's hiding something on the other side. Some even said the tides are controlled by alien tech inside. Meetings popped up where people shared their theories, drawing pictures of flying saucers in secret rooms. It was like a sci-fi movie coming to life. Science fought back though. They said the moon's face lock is just gravity doing its job, pulling it into place over time. The eclipse trick? Just math, they insist. But the alien fans kept going, pointing to old stories from different cultures that called the moon special. Maybe those tales had a grain of truth? The debate got heated, with some calling it nonsense and others swearing it's the key to our future. Today you still see this idea in movies and games. Hollow moons with alien bases or lost worlds. It's not just a science question anymore, it's a story that pulls you in. Could the moon really be a ship from space? If it is, what are they waiting for? And if not, why does it feel so mysterious? Okay, let's get to the heart of it. What if we really needed a place to hide, and the moon could be it? Imagine something terrible hits Earth, a giant rock from space, or the whole place heating up too much to live. If the moon is hollow, those empty spaces might just save us. No nasty space rays, no crazy hot and cold swings, just a spot to catch our breath. Some smart folks even say those caves inside could stay nice and steady at around 63 degrees Fahrenheit, which sounds pretty good for a lifeless rock. But here's the catch. Getting in won't be a walk in the park. Those caves aren't right on the surface. They're deep, some over 400 feet down. The slopes are steep and covered with loose rocks, like a tricky hill after a landslide. We'd need something cool like jetpacks or maybe a lift to climb down. Picture a team of brave folks strapping on gear, ready to jump into the unknown. It's a tough start, but if the moon has room inside, it could be our best shot when everything else falls apart. Let's think about why this could work. Out in space, radiation is a big problem. It can make you sick or worse. The moon's surface gets hit hard, but if we're inside a cave, those thick walls might block it out. Then there's the weather. Daytime hits 250 degrees, and night drops to 280 degrees. That's a wild ride, but deep inside the temperature might stay comfy. It's like finding a cozy basement during a storm. Plus, no air up there means no storms or floods, just quiet safety. Now, what kind of disaster are we talking about? Maybe a huge comet crashes down, turning Earth into a fireball, or maybe the ice melts and the seas swallow everything. Whatever it is, we'd need a plan, fast. The moon could be that plan, if we can get in. Some dream of turning those caves into homes, stacking up supplies and waiting it out. It's a long shot, but it beats staying on a dying planet. Getting inside is the first hurdle. Those 400-foot drops aren't easy. Imagine a rope ladder snapping or a jetpack running out of juice halfway down. We'd need to test it out, maybe send robots first to map the way. The caves near Mare Tranquillitatis, where Apollo 11 landed, are a good start, big enough to hold people, but tricky to reach. Engineers might dream up a lunar elevator or dig new paths. It's a challenge, but humans love a good puzzle to solve. Let's picture the benefits. Inside, we'd be safe from space rocks zooming by. Those craters on the moon show how dangerous they are. The thick rock overhead could be our shield, letting us sleep easy. And if there's water hidden down there, like some missions suggest, we could use it to drink or grow food. It's a tough life, but it could work if we play our cards right. All right, let's talk about how we could turn the moon into a real hideout if we need it. The good news is, we're already finding some neat tricks to make it happen. Those underground tunnels, called lava tubes, are a big deal. Long ago, when the moon had hot lava flowing, it left behind empty spaces as the lava cooled and drained away. NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter zoomed in and spotted over 200 pits that might lead to these tubes. One near Mare Tranquillitatis is huge, big enough to fit a football field. That's a lot of room to work with. These lava tubes could be our ticket in. Imagine walking into a giant cave under the moon's surface, with walls made of old lava rock. They're not just cool to look at, they could keep us safe from space rays and wild temperature swings. The biggest one they found stretches wide and long, maybe hiding more tunnels deeper down. Scientists think there could be hundreds of these spots waiting for us to explore. It's like nature built us a shelter we didn't know about. Even better, There's water up there. NASA's Sophia mission checked it out and found water hiding in the dust and dark spots near the poles. It's not a lake, but little bits stuck in the dirt or frozen as ice. That water could be a game changer. We could melt it for drinking, grow plants with it, or even turn it into fuel for ships. Picture a team scooping up that ice, figuring out how to use it, maybe even setting up a little farm under the ground. The Artemis missions are stepping up next. They're planning to grab dirt from deeper inside the moon, stuff we haven't seen yet. That could tell us if there's more space or water down there. Imagine the astronauts landing, digging with their tools, and bringing back clues. They might find out if those caves are big enough for people, or if we need to dig more. It's like a treasure hunt with the prize being our survival. Let's think about how to set it up. Those lava tubes need some work to become homes. We'd have to bring lights, air pumps, and building stuff from Earth at first. But over time, we could use moon rocks to make walls and floors. The water could help too. Maybe we'd build a system to keep it flowing. Engineers might dream up ways to heat the caves or grow food with special lamps. It's a big job, but step by step, we could make it livable. The pits leading to these tubes are our starting point. Some are hundreds of feet deep, with rough edges that need careful climbing. Robots could go first, mapping the way with cameras and sensors. Picture a little rover rolling down, sending back pictures of a giant cave. That info would help us plan where to put doors, how to make stairs or lifts. It's tricky, but we've solved tough problems before. Water's the key to staying alive. Those dark spots near the poles where the sun never shines might hold more ice. Scientists think micrometeorites or old comets brought it there. If we can get to it, we could set up a base and not worry about running dry. Maybe we'd even find ways to purify it right on the spot. It's a hope that keeps the idea of living on the moon alive. So, let's say we make it into those moon caves. What would life be like down there? If the moon's hollow with big spaces, we could turn them into homes. Picture walking into a lava tube, those natural tunnels under the surface, and setting up a little spot to call your own. It won't be like Earth, but with some smart moves, we could make it work. The walls are thick rock, keeping us safe from space dangers, and that steady 63 degrees Fahrenheit temperature could feel pretty nice. First things first, we'd need to build something solid. Those caves are rough, with jagged edges and dusty floors. We could bring bricks or metal from Earth to start, but over time, moon rocks might do the trick. Imagine a team stacking stones to make walls, adding doors to keep the air in. We'd need air pumps too, since there's no natural breeze up there. It's a big job, but step by step, we'd shape those caves into livable spaces. Food is the next challenge. Growing stuff on the moon isn't easy with no sunlight deep inside, but we could set up special lights, bright lamps that mimic the sun, and plant seeds in dirt mixed with water from those ice patches. Picture little green sprouts popping up, maybe tomatoes or beans, giving us fresh meals. At first, we'd rely on canned food from Earth, but those homegrown bites would be a big win. Water's already a helper. That ice near the poles could be melted and cleaned for drinking or watering plants. Imagine a system with tubes running through the cave, dripping water to keep things alive. We'd have to be careful not to waste a drop, but it could keep us going. Maybe we'd even find ways to store it in big tanks, ready for dry days. Living together would be a new adventure. With no outside air, we'd need machines to pump oxygen in, humming all day to keep us breathing. Heat would come from solar panels on the surface, wired down to warm the caves. People might set up beds, tables, and chairs, turning a rocky hole into a home. Kids could play, adults could work, maybe fixing tools or planning the next step. But it wouldn't be perfect. Space is tight, and everyone would have to share. Arguments might pop up over who gets what room or how much water to use. We'd need rules, maybe a leader to keep things fair. Picture a meeting in the cave, folks talking loud, figuring out how to live together. It's tough, but working as a team could make it work. So what happens if we find out the moon is hollow? Does it change everything? Let's think big. If it's a spaceship built by aliens, that's a whole new ballgame. Maybe they left it here to watch us or help us out someday. Picture a team of strange beings with glowing tools shaping the moon millions of years ago, making it a safe spot for someone. If that's true, we could learn their tricks, how to fly better, build stronger, or even talk to them. It's a wild thought, but it could open doors to the stars. On the other hand, if it's just natural caves, that's still a big deal. Those spaces could give us a second chance if Earth gets rough. We'd have a place to start over, maybe even spread out to other planets later. Imagine folks living in moon caves, then building ships to check out Mars or beyond. It's like a stepping stone to a bigger future, all because of those hidden rooms. Let's think about the alien side first. If the moon is their ship, what were they up to? Some say they might be friendly, watching to see if we're ready to join them. Others think they could be hiding, waiting for the right moment. That hum from Apollo 12 might be their engines or a signal we don't understand yet. Picture a day when we crack it open and find a message, maybe a map to other worlds or a warning. It could turn our history upside down. But what if it's not aliens? Those caves could still be our lifeline. If we master living there, we'd prove we can survive anywhere. Kids born in those caves might grow up dreaming of new homes on Mars or Jupiter's moons. We'd take what we learn, how to use water, grow food, make air, and carry it with us. It's a chance to grow stronger, not just hide. This could change how we see ourselves. Right now, we're tied to Earth, but a hollow moon might make us space explorers. Governments might team up to build more bases, turning the moon into a hub. Picture cities under the surface with lights and parks, all thanks to those caves. It's a future where we're not stuck in one place anymore. Let's imagine the good and bad. If it's an alien ship and they're nice, we could trade ideas or tech. But if they're not, we might need to defend ourselves. Maybe those caves become forts. If it's just nature, we'd still face challenges like keeping food and air going. Either way, it's a push to get smarter and tougher. All right, let's face it, figuring out if the moon is hollow and using it isn't going to be a breeze. We've got some big hurdles to jump over, and science needs to step up. The Artemis missions are our next big shot. They're sending folks back to the moon to grab dirt from deep down, stuff we haven't touched yet. Imagine astronauts in shiny suits digging with special tools, pulling up rocks that might tell us more. That dirt could show if there's empty space or just more layers. And it's a clue we can't wait to get. But it's not just about digging. We need better ways to see inside. Those old Apollo machines caught the hum, but they didn't go deep enough. Now we could use fancy radar, big antennas sending waves to map the moon's guts. Picture a satellite orbiting, beaming signals down, and scientists watching screens to spot caves or hollow spots. It's tricky though. The moon's thick crust can mess with the signals, and we might not get the full picture. Let's talk about what we don't know. That hum from 1969 still bugs us. Is it rocks shifting or something weirder? The Apollo data showed layers, crust, mantle, core, but didn't prove or kill the hollow idea. Some think there could be water or even tiny cracks we haven't found. We need more shakes to listen to, maybe by crashing another ship or setting off small blasts. It's a puzzle, and every piece counts. Getting to those caves is another challenge. They're deep, some over 400 feet, and the pits leading in are rough. We'd need strong ropes, lifts, or jetpacks that don't fail. Imagine a test run going wrong with gear breaking or rocks sliding. Engineers would have to design stuff tough enough for the moon's dry, dusty surface. It's a tough nut to crack, but we've got smart people on it. Then there's the living part. If we move in, we need air, water, and food. Those ice patches are a start, but how do we get them without running out? We might need big drills or heaters to melt ice fast. Growing food under lights is cool, but what if the power fails? Picture a cave going dark, with folks scrambling to fix it. It's a lot to figure out before we call it home. So here we are, after all this talk, what do we make of the moon being hollow? It's been a wild ride, from that strange hum in 1969 to dreams of living in caves. Science says it's probably just layers of rock, not a big empty space. But that hum in those caves keep us wondering. Maybe it's not a spaceship or a perfect hideout, but it sure gives us something to think about. Let's dream a little. Picture yourself stepping into a moon cave, carrying a bag with your favorite stuff, a photo, a book, maybe some seeds. What would you bring to start over? That choice could shape a new life up there. The moon might not save us from every disaster, but it's a chance to try, to learn, and to grow. We've got work to do. Artemis missions and new tools could crack the mystery, but it'll take time. Every step, digging dirt, mapping caves, testing air, brings us closer. It's not just about surviving, it's about what we become. A hollow moon could push us to be explorers, not just Earth folks. What do you think? Drop a comment. Tell us your dream for the moon or what you'd pack. Hit like if you love this journey and subscribe for more adventures. This story isn't over yet. Let's keep digging together.